Ready, set, adventure! Welcome to Hikanuki World Tour and our final day aboard the Celebrity Apex. We'll spend a little time walking around the ship, hit the buffet for one last time, have our dinner at the specialty restaurant Eden, enjoy a little nighttime entertainment, and then we'll wrap up with our likes and dislikes on the Celebrity Apex. So come along with us. The last day of the cruise always arrives sooner than you think. And as much as you may have done, there's probably a few things that you missed. So we headed to Deck 14 and the Spa Cafe, where they have a creative take on healthy cuisine with nourishing salads and smoothies. Everything looked healthy and appetizing. Everything was individually portioned, and we decided to have a little caprese salad with tomato, mozzarella, and basil. Also on Deck 14 is the Masked Grill, where you can satisfy that cheeseburger craving. Maybe not quite as healthy as the Spa Cafe, but come on, it's your last day. Take the elevator down to Deck 5 and you'll find the Eden Cafe for lunch. You'll find soups, salads, and sandwiches. And you can always stop by Deck 4 and Cafe El Bacio for a quick treat. We spent one last day on the pool deck, reflecting on our trip on the Apex and thinking about what we wanted to do next. And with all that thinking, we worked up an appetite and headed to the buffet. They really went all out today. The bakery creations are too beautiful to eat. Well, maybe not. Everything at the Oceanview Cafe was on point this evening. So we're just gonna walk around because we have to have a big dinner at Eden tonight. One thing's for sure, you will not go hungry on the Celebrity Apex. After watching a spectacular sunset, it was time to get ready for the evening. We stopped by the Grand Plaza for a little evening entertainment. And then on to Eden. Here's a look at the space during the daylight hours. Pay no attention to her as you enjoy your dinner. The Eden restaurant is what I would consider the most upscale specialty restaurant. You can choose either the menu on the left or on the right. On the left is the degustation menu, which is curated by the chefs. It's also an additional $35, and the time will take about 2.5 hours to do this. Note that wine pairing is an additional $120 even if you have the drink package. We opted for the menu on the right as I'm not a big fan of seafood. And we also didn't want to take the time for the degustation menu. The restaurant is a lively place. You can hear the live music from the bar above, and you can see into the open kitchen and watch as the chefs prepare your dishes. For our dinner, we chose 2 appetizers and a main entree. We didn't have room for dessert since we pre-gamed at the buffet. Shrimp was good, salad was interesting. For the gnocchi, if you're not a fan of guanciale, which is pork cheek, avoid this because that flavor was very strong and very overpowering. The crab cake was by far the best of the appetizers. For entrees, we chose the sea bass and the filet mignon with the short rib Wellington. Both were excellent. We enjoyed our meal here. The service was impeccable, but overall I would suggest looking at the menu before you book this specialty restaurant. After dinner, we headed up to the bar to grab a drink and listen to some music before retiring for the evening. Now stick around as we share our likes and dislikes aboard the Celebrity Apex. But first, a word about everyone's least favorite subject, disembarkation. The first most popular way to handle luggage is to have your bags ready by 10 p.m. the night before. You'll be given a tag number based on your flight departure times and wait for that number to be called the next day. Your bags will be waiting for you in the port terminal where you will locate them and be on your way. Be sure to keep your CPass, passport, and any other documents you may need, as well as a change of clothes in your cabin for the next day. The second option for disembarkation is to keep your luggage and self-carry it the next day. If you do this, you can be the first off the ship, or you can choose to spend one last leisurely morning on the ship. Of course, if you choose this option, you must be able to carry your own luggage, as crew will not be able to assist you. The final option, which we chose, was luggage valet disembarkation. This is the first time I've seen this offered and was really convenient if you're flying the next day. Put your luggage out at 10 p.m. and then it will be checked into your flight and delivered to the airport for you. This is ideal if you want to spend some time in the port and not have to worry about taking your luggage with you. We found the whole process on the Apex to be smooth, efficient, and not take much time at all. And now on to our likes and dislikes. While not in any particular order, our first like was the food. The Oceanview Cafe, or buffet, really stood out for its artfully prepared and always impeccable looking food displays. The food was also very good and was open hours that were convenient for passengers. The variety of food offered was also notable and changed daily. We also enjoyed the concept of having 4 different main dining rooms to choose from each night. The food there was pretty consistent and pretty good, and offered a good complimentary alternative to the buffet. Other complimentary options such as the Mast Grill, the Spa Cafe, and Il Bacio Cafe provided other complimentary options, giving you a wide variety of choices. With 6 specialty restaurants to choose from, you shouldn't get bored. Fine Cut Steakhouse was our favorite in terms of food, and Le Petit Chef was memorable for the unique experience. Another of our likes was the ship itself. It was very modern, welcoming, it had an elegant feel, and they had artwork everywhere. I'm going to take you on a little tour of some of the artwork. I felt like the space on the ship worked really well for the number of passengers. It really never felt crowded, with a few exceptions such as the pool deck on the sea days, and some of the venues were a little smaller, such as Eden. Trying to watch the entertainment at Eden, you had to kind of get there early to get a good seat, and the same for the club when they had the show, the Caravan. That was very crowded too. But overall, I thought the ship layout was great. I wonder where this little guy ended up. Walking around the ship, I always felt like there was a new place to explore and something that we hadn't seen, even though we felt like we walked around a lot. As you can see, there was a wide variety of artwork, which made every walkway interesting. And of course, there was a Park West art auction. One of our dislikes about this cruise was that we had to tender to 2 of the 4 ports. The biggest downside of tendering is having to wait to get on the tender and get to the port. This definitely cuts into the time you have in each port, which was our next complaint. Time in port sometimes was just not enough. For example, in Grand Cayman, we docked at 10 o'clock and the last tender out of the port was at 4:30. However, we didn't get off the ship on the tender until noon, so this made for an abbreviated day in what was our favorite port. On a brighter note, our next favorite thing about the Celebrity Apex was the crew. They were all very hardworking, they were friendly, they were helpful if you had any questions, and they made you really feel at home. We also liked that the drink package offered a wide variety of options. Some came at a small premium, but for the most part, whatever you wanted was included. Our dislikes about the bar service were at the magic carpet in the pool bar, which seemed to be very understaffed, especially at very busy times. Also, the magic carpet used plastic cups, which they kept out in the sun, so when they would pour a mixed drink into it, the drink would warm up immediately, the ice would dissolve, and you'd have a diluted drink. And speaking of crowds, the casino was oftentimes so crowded you couldn't even get a seat at a slot machine, let alone play a table game. Overall, we had a great cruise on the Celebrity Apex and would definitely come back on this ship again. The itinerary in the Western Caribbean was new to us, so we enjoyed it. However, in the future, I think we'll explore a different itinerary. Thanks for joining us at Hikunuki World Tour on our last day aboard the Celebrity Apex. Our travel wisdom for today comes from Jacques Cousteau. The sea, once it casts its spell, holds one in its net of wonder forever. Thanks again for joining us at Hikunuki World Tour, and be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notifications button as we'll be sharing our cruise on the Apex.